Cappy gonna make the money, get some honey. Cappy gonna make the money and then go to South Dakota. All right, Doctor writes, and this is, I don't think English is his first language. And if you're in the United States, which you are, you really need to improve your language. I don't care that you have a medical degree. Or you have been doing voice to text, which is very millennial. It's annoying as fuck. Neither here nor there. Not sure how to do this. Phone via Skype may be best. But want to know how you think it would be best to optimize my life. First, you learn to spell. I'm not kidding. I don't care you're a doctor. I want to know how you think it would be best to optimize life. Do you know what a fucking idiot you look like? Like, I understand if you're 18 or 19 years old and you're in college and you're lazy. I'm sure the college professors are used to it. You're a fucking doctor. Please take the time to spell. I want to know how best to make the best out of life when it comes to money and women. Life is good, but want to optimize the rest of my life. Okay, cool. And I just, okay, this sentence, you didn't spell anything wrong. I get the impression, okay, English is your second language, but God, spell the words right. Okay, I don't mind, the verb is in the wrong place compared to the participle or whatever. I didn't pay that much attention to English, but you can't use the wrong word. Money. I'm wondering how best to optimize my position short and long. I'm not too much of a minimalist now, but have saved. I'm 36 years old, currently situation. Seriously, take some English classes. You do not know how much money you are leaving on the table by not speaking or writing English correctly. All right. If I had who's this doctor? Right. You may be the best, but I'm like, wow, guy doesn't write current situation, writes currently situation. Well, if he's that bad with English, is he going to be good with my aorta? Cardiologist. Okay, there we that was coincidence. Cardiologists earn about $700,000 per year before taxes, but only for past 2 years. Have saved about $2 million, all in stocks and about 7% in Bitcoin. Nice. Own my care. You mean you own your practice? I don't know what own my care means. But rent a parent. He rents an parent. This is exactly what I'm doing. But rent an parent. Did you do voice to text or did you not know the word? Both are unacceptable. I understand you have an incredibly sought after skill. That's why you make $700,000 per year. But you want to talk about girls? You want to be successful with girls? You need to use. What if you're texting a girl and you use the wrong word? And instead of saying, would you like a fine wine? You type in, would you like a fuck wine? And now you got all sorts of problems because you got the wrong word. Fuck Wine, a new line of wines by Aaron Clary. But rent an apartment for $2,300 a month. I want to know how. You mean know how? I want to know how to spend future money. Live in a state with rich areas. I want to live on a house on the water, but this cost like $3 million or so at this time. Seem foolish, but want to do it. I have 2 kids. Should I just keep throwing more money at stocks or buy other things, real estate, buy a business? No. You do not buy a business. One of the benefits of you being a legit, highly talented individual, being a surgeon, a doctor, or a heart surgeon of all things, heart doctor, you don't have to do another. You will always find employment, right? So you don't have to start a side hustle. You don't have to like that. But you do make a fair amount of money, and it is a question like, okay, well, what do you do with it? Now, you've done with it pretty well so far. It's all in stocks. You're 36, and most of it should be in stocks at that relatively young age. You have a good position in Bitcoin. And so now you're kind of like, do you want to get real estate or stuff like that? So let's start with that. I'll come back and revisit your question on women here in a second. And I said, well, what would you do with a $3 million house on the water? Why do you want such a house? How much time would you spend with your kids? And your kids are younger. They're toddler age, let's just say. So they're going to be around for a while. and you said, I spend about 60% of my time with the kids, mom, family. All right, you work 80 hours a week, if not 90. Every weekend, which is my quality time. Otherwise, I don't want to give away. That's why I'm mumbling. I don't want to identify you, to keep you private. Otherwise, during the week, rely on babysitters and only get to spend 2 hours a weeknight with them. Well, dude, do you want money or do you want your kids? The money will, you're doing it. Okay, just my opinion. You're fucking this up. Now, do you have to work 80 hours a week? Your kids need you. Your kids will be gone. People with bad clogged arteries, they ain't going away. Fat, dumb Americans with bad diets, or just bad genetics in my case, who need their hearts repaired, they're not going away. Don't worry, the work will be there. Your children will not. What are you doing working 80 hours, 90 hours a week when you got your kids half the time and you ship them off to a fucking babysitter? Why? Like, okay, I understand if it's one thing where it's like, no, you have to work 80 hours a week. But if you don't have to work 80 hours per week, you got your priorities completely fucking wrong. You got enough money. You make so you're only making $350,000. Spend time with your kids for at least the next decade, because then the 2-year-old would be a 12-year-old by that time. They could kind of take care of themselves. And then you go back. But, they got school in the daytime. You go work in the daytime. All right. Then you spend time with them at night. You raise them like a fucking father, right? You invest in them. You teach them the merits of hard work and studying the right thing, which you know about. And then when they're gone, then you go do the 80 hours a work week. But you have fucking kids. And no offense, I hate to sound like a nice guy and like I got a shred of heart left in me. Your kids are more important than your fucking career. Stop being an American chick and raise your fucking kids. So no, you don't need a $3 million house. What you need is more free time to spend with your kids. And your kids will be just fine if you don't have to live on the water. If you find a good deal, sure. But what you should do is reverse engineer this question about your housing situation. If you make half of what you do now, $350,000, can you go and find yourself a nice house in a relatively safe area with a good school or a good school district to send your kids to school, because you're only going to be working 40 hours a week? And I'm going to tell you, at $350,000, you can do that. That's a lot of money. Now, here's where I don't get doctors, right? You guys are so fucking brilliant. Like you're gods practically. And then when it comes to basic 101 common sense, you guys fuck it up. Why'd you have the kids if you weren't going to raise them? 1, 2, what the fuck is with all of you got a hard on for Ferraris? Is it trying to get back at the jocks back in high school? All these doctors, all of them. There are only 2 real rich people I met. One was a shoe sales guy, and the other one, I forget what he was. Dentist. Every doctor, holy shit. Like, I'm thinking, the logical thing is you get all this student loan debt, and then you get paid $700,000 a year. And you pay it off. Oh no, you got to get the fucking house, leverage that shit up to the hilt. You got to get the Ferrari. Why? You're 30 fucking 3 by that time. You're not in high school anymore. You're not in college. There's no frat party to go to. Well, you show up in your Ferrari like, hey, look at me. What? Oh, then you manage to stick your dick in a woman, and now you have children, innocent children coming out. Oh, fuck that. Can't outsource that shit. Why'd I have them? I don't know. Did you learn about how sex works in medical school? The result is kids. Did you study neurology, that they have their own sentience and they might want their fucking father around? So you need to stop looking at your finances, which are probably just fine. You need to scale back on work, and you need to invest in your children and not necessarily the S&P fucking 500. Right? You need to figure out what's really important in life, and that is children and love, and not a fucking house on the fucking water. You should be able to find a house in your area easily for $400,000, no problem, in a nice area. where each kid has their room. Since you're divorced, you don't need that big of, you don't need, like, the wife doesn't need a room. Maybe a little den that you can escape the kids. And then when you have your kids, you're not working. Or they're in school and you're working, but then when you're and you're going to give them a fucking father and a fucking home. And you can easily do that on $350,000, maybe $300,000 if you don't get the OT, or heaven forbid, $250,000, or whatever will you do. So no, you don't need real estate. You just need a nice, good house that's safe in a safe neighborhood and in a good school district. And then you spend the time with the kids. And if you want to go to the beach, don't worry, it's still there. Rent a boat, rent a house on the weekend with the kids when you got some downtime. But you are not going to put a fucking $3 million house on the ocean or a lake ahead of your own goddamn children. I know you didn't ask about the kids, but I'm fucking sick and tired of parents ignoring their fucking kids. And then, don't worry, they'll leave. They'll be gone. The one in like 10 years, they won't even pay it. Okay, they'll still be there, but they're like, and they'll be running off with their friends. So you got like maybe 10 years max with these kids before you're the nerdy dad and they find their friends and they're running off. And then maybe 15 years after that, they're all out of the house. Then go work 80 hours a week if you feel like it. Then go buy your fancy house on the ocean and be bored by yourself. But getting back, if it was a financial question you had, now that we've addressed what's more important, children or money, especially when you have enough, it's just my opinion about housing, man. If you're going to be a bachelor, now you got kids, so you get a house. If you can wing the money, like you make the money. If you got $2 million cash or whatever, okay, fine, go buy the house on the lake. Okay, you can do that. I don't think you need that big of a house. I think you need a good $400,000 house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That's it. Let the kids go do their thing. They got their own room, right? And I would not look at that as like the permanent house that you're going to settle in on. I would just look at that as a house to be functional, to house you and your children so you have somewhat of a family. Then when the kids leave, that should be 10 years. It's going to be a significant amount, no more than 10 years, it'll be 15 years, I guess, minimum. 15 years go by, there's almost a guarantee, can't guarantee anything, but it's very, very, very likely that house will have gone up in value. Then I would take that money and then buy your dream house on the ocean, right? It won't replace the kids because if you do it right, you'll have a rapport and a relationship with your children and you'll miss your kids. But hey, you got a nice house on the ocean. And that, I think, would be a better way to go about inevitably getting to yourself a house on the ocean. But please, dude, knock it off with this doctor shit where it's like, oh, I studied all the time and now I need my revenge. So let me whip out my money dick and show you my house on the... And that was what I was going to say. I never knew a doctor that actually had a positive net worth. You guys all borrowed money into oblivion. Now, you seem to have like a little bit more financial sense with a good stock portfolio you're investing and you have Bitcoin. So I'm sure you're doing it, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, doctors. But for now, man, you don't need that house. You don't. You need your kids. But if you want to get there, I'd say buy a house that works for your family now, not you, your family, your children and you. And then when the kids leave, you can liquidate that. You'll have a heck of a down payment. And assuming you keep making the money that you do, you'll over 15 years, you invest in the index, again, assuming that does, that continues on as it has in the past, you could probably buy what will then be a $5 or $4 million house, $5 or $6 million house for cash. And you can live on the ocean. But if you do it that way, say, what did I get to do? I get to spend time with my kids. My kids had a father. Now, let's say you invest in the house, okay, and it's only $400,000. You could probably pay cash with that. So you're still going to have a lot of cash coming in. From an investing perspective, maybe you'd like to invest in real estate. And I think that's probably a wise investment because you got stock, okay, so you're heavy on stocks. You got more than adequate probably position in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. But the only two general things I could think of would be real estate and precious metals, right? With real estate, two items. One, maybe you consider investing in a real estate investment trust. That way you don't have to manage the property. You said, oh, maybe I buy a business. No, you're not. Don't buy a business. You got too much fucking shit going on at the hospital. You're not going to manage a business. It's so beneath you. It's not worth your time. You lose money. They'll take it. People screw you over. Don't do that. But if you want it, you could invest in real estate through a real estate investment trust. That's no maintenance. It's just buying a mutual fund of properties. Or what you may also want to consider is buying land overseas in a country where you might want to have a plan B to escape to, because Ocasio-Cortez is going to take your $700,000 because you didn't earn that in medical school. Besides, she was a rich bitch from the nice part of town in New York. And oh my goodness, she wrote some children's books with some government money. And she just needs more of your money. You're just a heart surgeon after all. You may want to consider investing overseas, buying some land overseas as kind of an emergency and a plan B. That isn't necessarily investing like for a capital gain. That's more like, we got to leave now because your dad just was too much of a superior person, making too much money, doing too many good things instead of being a fucking UBI welfare parasite. But I would afford myself that insurance, that life insurance, so that you and your family, your children are not paupers having to flee the communists of the United States. So that's with your real estate. Precious metals, I always say 200 ounces per person of silver. So with you and your two kids, it's 600 ounces. You're richer, so nothing wrong if you wanted to buy 1,000 ounces. You could probably pay cash for that right now, but it's good to have a position in precious metals. But otherwise, yeah, aside from that, you're not a little low. You don't have any precious metals. Oh, by the way, I didn't know if you knew this. They can always go down in value. All right. All this can go down in value, but you probably want to start getting a position in precious metals. You're already pretty squared away with cryptocurrency there, I think. Land, either through a liquid asset like a real estate investment trust, or actually buying the land overseas if you want to have it, or both. But otherwise, I think you will get a natural position in real estate if you just buy a house that works for you and your family. And that's about it. So there you go. All right. So that's the real estate and the kids. Let's talk about women. 36 years old, tall, built, slightly above average looks. Okay. Well, you're a doctor too, so you're pretty good. I'm separated for about 1 year, never married, with an ex-bitch for 11 years. I have kids 60-40. I'm 60% and no free weekends. Have 2 kids who are toddler age. Can get women, but feel that I act like a beta still most. Yeah, because you're relying on your money. Do you go to the gym? Do you work out? Or are you just working? You're working all the time. I know 80 hours a week. You probably don't have time to work out. I work like 90 hours per week. Most women seem like they want to marry me, lock me down. They want your money. I should have had you send me pictures. They want your money. And since you have such horrible priorities as to where it comes to people, namely your children, you're not getting married for quite some time. Until you figure out what's important in life, you are not getting married. Besides, you chose poorly the first time. And you're a doctor. And here I had another doctor who was actually an executive doctor. Just lie. Don't tell women you're a doctor. Don't tell them you're a cardiologist. Tell them you're a nurse. Tell them you're an orderly. That way you can still get to wear the white robes. Just tuck away the stethoscope and don't have Dr. Bob on your thing. Even have a fake thing. Orderly Bob made up. Fake tag. Get rid of your fancy car. And that's the other thing. Oh, $3 million house on the lake? You think the gold diggers? How do you even know if women like you for you? See, that's the thing. You didn't ask, but rule number 5, 6, 10 of Aaron Clarey, you never, ever display your wealth. Never. Dude, if I have money, none of you guys would know. I wouldn't show it around or flash it off. I keep driving the same shitty cars I do. I don't want people knowing I got money. You doctors, because you got I suffered so much as a durka nerd. Oh, I got a Ferrari. Why are my insurance premiums so high? My malpractice insurance so high? You're not a doctor. Don't tell anyone that. Don't tell me you're a bum either, but you're a nurse. You're a nurse, senior nurse, nurse supervisor, whatever the hell. You're a managerial nurse. You make 60, 70,000 a year. And you do not, this guy, he had a condo, fancy sports, old classic cars, like the old ones from the 30s and the 20s. I'm like, what the the girls are just after me for my money. No fucking shit, Jones. Really? Again, that's super high IQ. You guys can save lives, but then you don't get it when it comes to simple 101. I should write a book for doctors on finance. Dr. Finance. Hey, stop being dumbasses and spending more than you make and lie about how much money you make the other way. The end. That'll be $14.95. Thank you. Currently, I have a girlfriend who makes my life easier, but I lied to her saying I'm willing to get married, but I'm not really going to. Well, you can't lie to them. Come on, man. Where'd you think that was going to end? I'm willing to have another child. No. Fuck you. Fuck you, you asshole. You're not having another kid until you start raising the ones you got. What, you want to torture a third little innocent mind without having their dad around? Fucking hell. Oh, do I just string women around for 6 to 12 months? I don't like breaking up with women. All right. I'm gonna help you out with this. First, you're not a doctor. Okay. You're the nurse. Second, get rid of any fucking fancy dick extending car you got. The car, get me the girl. Change your fucking dating profile. You're just a highly paid nurse. And when it comes to women, I went through a horrific ex. You didn't have a divorce because you weren't married. I had a horrific ex. I got 2 kids. They are my life. I have no interest in getting married ever again. Now, if you want to come and hang out, have a good time, cool. But I am never getting married. And you're not going to scare women away. Right? You're not. They love that shit. Oh, they'll try. When do we get married? And film it. We're not. And once you establish the rules, like, oh, and by the way, I'm dating other women. And maybe if you're the best, maybe I'll settle for you. But I am never getting married. Your problem is solved. You've displayed some dominance. Girls will like you more. It's a sad, tragic thing. But there's your you don't want to get married. Tell them. You don't want to commit to a girl. You want to date other girls. Tell them. I am pretty important, and I got other shit going on, including my kids, which you don't because you apparently don't want to raise them. Oh, abandonment of children is just so funny. Are you sure you're not a boomer? And you've solved your problem. I'm not going to get married. I will not marry you. If you want to date, you want to have fun. I always had this idea of like a dating profile, like if I were to go back and dating, which I won't, I just won't. But if I had to, my dating profile would be called Fun Guy. And I'd make it seem like an advertisement. Fun Guy, now with extra fun, 10% more fun. And then there'd be the disclaimer. Fun Guy is not capable of getting married. Do not confuse Fun Guy with Commitment Guy. Do not bring Fun Guy to meet the parents. Fun Guy is only interested in having fun. If you want to hang out with Fun Guy and have fun, contact Fun Guy. 1-800-FUN. Fun Guy does not do anything serious. Fun Guy is only interested in sexual exploitation and blah, 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 blah. And that's what, because now, you're a pussy, I'll tell you this. You are a pussy. Because you can't tell a girl no. No, I don't want to get married. You know, like, oh, I might hurt her feelings. Fuck her feelings. You have more important things, your kids. I don't know if you met. Have you met your kids? They're over there. Yeah. They kind of look like you. They're around every once in a while, kind of stay at your place. I don't know if you saw them. We'll introduce you to them later. Anyway, you just say, yeah, I got important stuff going on with the kids. My children come first. And you're just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to get married. Nope. And that takes care of that problem. How do you introduce them? You don't like breaking up with women. Well, don't commit to them in the first place. How do introduce them to my kids and get this women to help complement my life without marrying them? You're not getting married. You know what? You're not dating either. You're going to go be a fucking dad to your kids. And you're going to raise your fucking kids and spend time with them. you're not, I mean, you could go date if you want. I mean, I'm not going to stop you. But I think you should start raising your children first and cut back from work so you actually see your kids grow up and be a father. And then if you had a little bit of extra time, then maybe have a woman in your life. But you are in no condition to bring another woman and like commit and get serious. You want to date, you want to have fun, fine. I think it would do you a world of good. Sounds like you just married the first girl that'll let you have access to her vagina. And then all 2 kids later with no marriage. All right. Women are not more important than your children. They're just not. Right? Women are not the most important thing in life. And look where it's gotten you. So women are removed from this formula. Your financial portfolio, do you want to expand into real estate or crypto or precious metals? Absolutely fine, no problem. Right? Do you want to buy a house now and get even if you want your $3 million dream home on lake? Okay, go ahead, do that. If you do it my way, well, you can do whatever you want. But it comes with women? No. You've just had a spectacular failure. You had to break up with your ex. You have 2 illegitimate kids that you don't raise. And now you got girls that you're lying to because you don't got the balls to say, I don't want to get married or commit. I just want to have fun. Now here you are like, well, how do I introduce someone? Dude, when you grow the fuck up and you can tell women no or tell them what you want. There you go. All right. Any super chats? Mexi Mike, $10. Cappy said penis. Of course I did. Or the pene. Hey, with the pene. Also, that girl seems like anti-typical 2021 U.S. basic female. We need to lure her in and clone her, find her masculine. Oh, you mean the gal, the nice lady who sent me the painting? Yes. She's a good-looking gal. She is very nice, very sweet, very Christian. Fulvar Burma, I think this is a new guy, $2 Canadian. Angry Cappy is the best Cappy. Well, look, come on, guys. Don't you remember being a kid? Any of you guys from a divorced family? Like, that kind of sucked, didn't it? Like, and then you look at it like, well, we had kids. We're going to raise them. We're going to raise our children, sir. My good sir, we're Americans. Don't you know our women must go and get their master's degree and work in the law? Raise my own child. My good boy, I'm the father. Even if I'm present, I'm a pansy pussified putz, and I just sit there and, yes, dear. This foolishly assumes we're married in the first place. Just ask some of the other communities within the American village. Jeff Tondes, $5. Have you ever noticed how some people, mostly Arabs, are unable to speak theoretically? For some reason, it pisses me off to no end. I was just hanging out with Myron, and I don't know if he's Arab. From a Muslim family, but I don't know if he's ethnically Arab. There's some lineage there. I don't know. I've never had, I don't, but I haven't ran into that many Middle Easterners. Maybe that's interesting. I don't know. We got any Middle Eastern dudes, Arabs? Any of you guys got an idea? What about Abu American was American, but then he joined Islam. So he's culturally American. I don't think it would be the same. I don't know. No, I'd be fascinated to see if there's something there. Because I do know, like, in India, I was tuning into Bill Burr one time, and he was talking about an East Indian comic who was just trying to break into East India, but comedy is not like stand-up. A comedy clubs is just like, oh, that's impolite. Like it's socially ostracized. It's like, what, you can't laugh? So I don't, there might be something to that, but I haven't ran into that many Arabs. I wouldn't be able to speculate. And what Arabs I have are relatively Americanized. They're like, yeah, let's go get some pussy and booze. All right. Hey, you sure you're Muslim? Fred Freeman saw $5. Speaking of doctors, I sent you an article about the studies linking merciful Rona fatality rate to obesity. Fred, why would I open up that link? Why would I open up that link? I already know that. Fox News says sky blue, more at 6. I know. I figured. Simon Laplace, Taiwanese, $75 Taiwanese. UBI is the reason why democracy can't work always degenerates into buying votes. Sadly, the libertarian approach seems to just give SJWs more power. No, the libertarian, look, guys. You know who has the power in the country? The people. And when the people are a bunch of fucking retards, you're going to have a fucking retarded government. That's how it works. There's no libertarian is the right answer. It's not an opinion. It's true. Leave people alone and don't steal their shit. Pretty effing simple. As long as they're not hurting you, you ain't got no business. It's 3 sentences to form a government right there. I just set it up. Humans can't do that. Humans are lazy. They want to enslave other people so they don't have to work for a living. You got like half the population, 51% of the population that want. They're all for it. But stop. Oh, the libertarians will. Oh, but neoconservatism. Oh, but open-minded libertarian social. No. You have a population of spoiled, lazy fucks that came from the good times, and now they are weak men, and they will bring about the bad times. There's no reasoning with the masses. Heck, I was just on Myron Gaines' show talking to 3 gals trying to explain, like, look, you're all in your 30s, and it ain't, guys are gonna like if you can, I mean, go watch it. I mean, I literally might as well have been talking to this thing of mint pills, peppermint pills, because there was no sentience. It was complete. I was talking to robot. I really was. I was talking to NPCs. NPCs with feelings. Mexi Mike, $5, laughing out loud. Cappy say Dirk a Dirk. Also, speaking of showing wealth off, where the F is your dude bro bling piece? Oh yeah, I got my nieces lent it to me. I'll go grab it. I'll go grab it here and maybe on the next one. Yeah, that was kind of my dollar sign piece. Fulvar Burma again for $2 Canadian. Angry Cappy, best Cappy, because dads are assholes. Yeah, I know everyone's like kind of harsh on the single moms, but let's not forget some dads are assholes too. And the women do leave these guys because they are assholes. I've seen it. It's kind of like, yeah, there ain't no winners here, is it? Everyone's kind of a fucking dick. Let me guess who's going to pay the price. Oh, the kids. Oh, you're a bitch. He's an asshole. How about you guys get together and breed some innocent victims, huh? It's great. It's the American way. Donna Hannaford, $2 Australian. Raise your kids, dude. Get the snip. Yeah. Simon Laplace for 75 Taiwanese dollars again. Cappy, remember to take the dog with you when you leave the U.S. Also, just finished the Myron video masterpiece and the fatality of Kevin Samuels at the end. Yes, that was good. Now, keep in mind, I was on that video, but that was like kind of the group video. It was like the late night. I have my own interview with Myron and Fresh as well, but we did like 6 videos. We did like some Zoom stuff, private meeting stuff. So it was like, And Rolo, I love the man to death. I love him like the older brother I never wanted. Like, yeah, you're gonna give me. You are older, man. I didn't want you. I didn't file for you, man. That's like Rolo. We have 10 people waiting on the call lines. Just get to the point, man. We're starving. Because that was, you didn't see that because like we'd all wake up and most of us don't really eat breakfast or lunch. But by the time 9 p.m. rolls around, you're like, oh God, I will kill little children just to get some food right now. And it's like, all right, there you go. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. It's good to be back. See you guys later. Toodles.